Rumors about the health of Burt Reynolds have been circulating in and around Hollywood. Reynolds has decided to set the record straight. Senior correspondent Rona Barrett is here with that story. Rona?
Rumor. That's a one-word description for the coward's most powerful weapon. Now there's a rumor about Burt Reynolds. You've heard it, I've heard it, and Burt's heard it. Rumor is Burt Reynolds has AIDS. Now Burt has decided to fight this rumor. He has chosen this program for his first and hopefully last in-depth interview on the subject. I spoke to him yesterday at Steven Spielberg's headquarters at Universal Studios, where Burt is preparing to direct an episode of Spielberg's upcoming NBC series, Amazing Stories. Burt's experience with this rumor certainly qualifies as an amazing story. What was your first reaction when you heard the story that you had AIDS?
At first, I was angry because, you know, the New York Post was calling and the National Enquirer, and I didn't want to give it any credibility by answering. You know, I thought, what the hell? I'm not going to answer them. I mean, I was just on the Tonight Show and looked swell. I was alive. Everybody said I was dead one weekend, by the way. One weekend I was just completely dead. And the guy called up and said, we hear you're dead. And I said, well, I'm on the phone. He said, how do I know it's you? I said, well, I'm sorry, I don't have a voice like Aldo Ray, so he could recognize me right away, you know. But after a few, he said, could you laugh? He actually said to me, could you laugh? I'd recognize your laugh. Good guys, you know, these people.
The rumors have persisted.
Yeah, it doesn't do any good to deny them because they feed off of each other like a bunch of sharks, you know. It's a feeding frenzy. It's too good a story. I mean, if I deny it, then the Chicago Sun-Times calls another newspaper instead of calling me or the source or whatever. And, you know, I didn't even answer the New York Post, and the New York Post ran an article with me answering. They just made up answers.
It's had to have an effect, Burt.
I think what bothers me the most is I thought naively in the 27 years, sorry to say, we've known each other, that I haven't made very many enemies. And gosh, I made a lot of good friends, and I thought I did a lot of good for a lot of people. And somebody, someone, someplace is bound and determined to nail me.
Why?
I have no idea.
It seems to me that these rumors began when you turned down Sidney Lumet's Power. Everyone said this was the perfect role for you, that this film, Power, was everything that you needed in order to get your career in high gear.
I physically didn't think I could do it. I had done too many pictures in a row. It had taken its toll on me. I was too thin, too tired. But it was because it was such an important project that I didn't want to go into it at 80%. And I've done a lot of films at 80%, Rona. A lot of films. I mean, I've gone into them really tired and beat and winged it. And they made a lot of money. But I wasn't about to do that to Sidney. I just told Sidney, I can be there. I'll show up. I'll be at 80%. I'd like to be at 110. I'm at 110 now, but we aren't shooting.
You had a problem when you did City Heat with Clint Eastwood. You also had a physical problem when you were doing Stick.
Right.
What has been the problem?
Well, it's what's called a TM, temporomandibular joint problem, which is right here in the head. I got hit. And
Hit by what?
a chair doing a fight scene. And I didn't say anything, because I've been hit lots of times. And it just moved my bite around. And it's one of those things that unless your bite has ever been off, people don't know what the hell you're talking about. But you get headaches, you can't focus on anything. A light bothered me. I couldn't look at television. I couldn't eat. I couldn't chew. And I worked through a lot of pain. And City Heat was all right because I had Clint. But on Stick, it was over. I'd lost it by that time. I was down to 150 pounds.
Obviously, all of this has had to have some kind of effect on your parents, has it?
Yeah, they were the ones I worried about the most. My dad's 85. My mom's, I don't know if she lies about her age, but she's somewhere around here. But they're just wonderful people, and they don't deserve this. They don't deserve to hear on the radio that I'm dead. They heard it on the radio. I was dead.
Do you have cancer?
No, I'm not suffering from cancer.
Are you suffering from AIDS?
No, I'm not suffering from AIDS. I'm suffering from, it's painful because I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. I don't think it's fair. I think that there's a feeding frenzy, that there's a story here, and it's too good of a story, if I have it, for them to let go. And so they won't let go. And I wouldn't lie to you. If I had something, Rona, I'd tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have a rundown of the new summer movies, plus a Leonard Maltin review of Year of the Dragon. That and more as Entertainment Tonight continues.
Coming up this weekend, all new on Entertainment This Week, Jane Fonda with Rona Barrett,
And Tim Conway,
Sean Weatherly,
Papa Smith,
Carol Baker.
all this and more this weekend on Entertainment This Week.